The Clippers beat the Lakers 113-105 earlier Monday evening. Danilo Gallinari led the way with 23 points on 9 of 15 from the field and added 6 rebounds as well. Now, entering the matchup, LeBron James needed 40 total points to pass Michael Jordan on the NBA's all-time scoring list. He dropped 27, and now he's ready to address the media.
You say you're limping a little bit in the middle of the game. What happened?
I got hit below the waist.
Yeah, related to the groin that you had at Christmas or something different?
No, I got hit in the family juice.
What do you think swung this game the Clippers' way?
They just had more energy at the end. I mean, for us, we basically played 6 guys. I mean, we played 8, but those were limited minutes for 2 other guys. BI being out, obviously the injuries is taking a toll on us. I thought defensively we were pretty dang on good under the circumstances, but offensively we just couldn't make a shot.
How hard is it mentally to come back when, you know, another guy goes down in the middle of fourth and Kuz has to limp off?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. You know, not only for the ball club, but for the individual himself. You know, I know how much work Kuz put into, you know, taking care of his body and just trying to be available to his teammates. And to see him roll his ankle on a non-contact play, it was definitely tough.
You get here and you learn what Brandon can't play. I mean, does it just seem like this season has been one thing after another?
Yeah, pretty much. Haven't been a part of the season with this ton of injuries to all our key guys, to, you know, big key guys. You know, and it's just the way the season has been. And I mean, we've had guys step up. You know, Josh stepped up in his absence tonight. It was great to see Josh play well again. You know, but you know, for us, we kind of prided ourselves on our depth to start the season, how we can be very good. You know, with our first unit and our second unit, and obviously our depth has dwindled over the course of weeks because of our injuries.
You played so many minutes over the last 4 days. How are you feeling?
Just as tired as I would after any game. No difference. You know, I think that back-to-back was tough on all of us, the Milwaukee Phoenix thing. So, you know, that Sunday, pretty much I didn't do anything. I was just trying to let my body recover. So, you know, just try to get my body ready for the night as well. So, obviously, I'm starting the treatment process right now to get ready for Wednesday. I mean, we got one of the best teams in the league coming in our building, you know, on Wednesday in Denver. So I have to mentally and physically prepare myself.
LeBron, with all the injuries, with the tough losses that you guys have suffered, do you start to think that the playoffs aren't a reality for this team?
I mean, listen, you keep playing to the end and see what happens, you know, at the end of the day. So, you know, I've been talking about it for a while now. We shouldn't even, everyone's been talking about the postseason. We need to worry about each and every game and how we can continue to get better with our process and get better with our team. So, you know, obviously, you know, at the end of the year, you know, the chips will fall where they may, you know, and you'll see where you're at.
Outside of the injuries, post All-Star break, because that was kind of the time for the natural reset, are there things that you point to that, outside of just the win-loss, that haven't gone the way you expected to?
I mean, we didn't win or loss league, and that's what it's all about. I mean, we've had positive, we've had a lot of negative, obviously, as far as our play. But at the end of the day, you're in a result league. Your results is how many wins you can accumulate, and you know, throughout the course of the season. So, you know, you take the good with the bad, and you just keep pushing forward.
When this team reaches the point where the playoffs aren't realistic or are mathematically eliminated, what do you kind of expect guys to bring in their approach to each game, each practice, and do you expect the same kind of motivation?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know. You know, for me personally, I can speak for myself. I can't speak for everybody else. I'll continue to be the professional and, you know, and be as great as you can be every single night, no matter the circumstances, because someone is always watching.
With all the different situations you've been through in your career and coming back in one of the greatest finals ever, I mean, is this even different for you to coach the team through or talk to the team about?
I mean, every year is different. Every single year. You know, this is my 16th year, so every year has been different throughout my whole career. So, you know, and I knew coming to this year that it'd be different from the previous year and the previous year before that. So, you know, you take the challenge and you continue to stay positive no matter what's going on throughout it all and keep your head high. And like I said, you keep pushing forward. But at the end of the day, if you give everything to the game individually and you commit to the team and you feel like you're doing your job at the highest level that you can do, then you can sleep well at night.
Last question,
LeBron,
please.
kind of with the fact that, I mean, you have more years this is a multi-year thing for you, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a point with the playoffs getting increasingly out of reach where it doesn't make sense for you to play the 42 minutes, or kind of where are you at physically, and kind of with your mindset about how much you're on the floor?
Well, I mean, that's a conversation that probably will be had between me and Luke. And going forward, I don't know what the what's going on as far as that with the postseason, things of that nature. So I felt like this was definitely a game that we needed tonight for obvious reasons. There's a team that we were chasing. And we didn't take care of business. So, you kind of look at the rest of the games and look at the percentages of what's going on here in the future and see what makes more sense, for not only me, but for the team itself as well.
Thanks, everyone.
Appreciate it, bro.
Appreciate it.
This is a man that has been in the playoffs for 13 straight seasons.
Is that a lot? That seems like a lot.
That is, where were you when LeBron last missed the playoffs? I was in 11th grade.
I gotta go. I gotta go. I'm nauseated now.
I was actually covering the league then, covering a team that had no better chance at making the playoffs than the Lakers do right now. I was covering an Atlanta Hawks team that won 13 games.
I can make it worse. Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball were 7. 7.
Well, look, let's be clear here. There was a sense in a tone of resignation in LeBron's voice. He understands the reality of what they're facing now as well. Like we've all been watching, looking at the calendar, looking at the metrics of, what has to happen for this team to make the playoffs. Now the conversation becomes real, the one he alluded to that he's going to have with Luke Walton at some point. When do you subtract LeBron from this situation? Because it's only going to get messier as the days go by, the games continue to transpire where they're not successful, and their playoff math eliminates them from contention. Now it's going to be about what's the smart thing to do to pull the plug on LeBron's season.
So we're 65 games into the season, so let's call this 87% of the precincts reporting. They're not making the playoffs. And the resignation you heard in his voice, a LeBron who believed they were making the playoffs, when the reporter asked, what do you expect from this group once you're out of the playoffs, says, we will be in the playoffs.
Right.
That's not what he said. He said, I don't know. And it's because of what you said. He hasn't been in this situation for 13 years. He doesn't know what to expect. And the thing that I think is the most striking to me about their situation, the greatest players of all time, historically, when you look at all of them across the expanse of their careers, none of them bell curve in and out of their greatness. The truly great players sort of hit a brick wall and it's over.
Yeah.
And you've seen LeBron look fallible this year for the first time. You've seen his body really start to look 34 years of age with all the miles it has on it. So there's no doubt in my mind that the instant you possibly can, you pull the plug to protect him. Because if you're going to win championships in the window that LeBron has left, he dictates outcome, and a fully healthy LeBron is the only chance you have to do that. Yeah.
What's the best case scenario then for these young Lakers as they finish this season? Is it simply to stay healthy? Is it to finish the season with some pride? What do you see as the best case for these guys who are getting experience?
Well, you turn them loose. I mean, there needs to be some positive energy for them. Kuzma, we'll see what his injury does and how long he puts him out. X-ray is reportedly negative. So, but it's really about, and that's a great word, finishing with pride. Because the expectation was so great on Christmas Day. These guys get a big win over the Warriors. You're in 4th place in the Western Conference standings. You can't help but your mind go to what we can accomplish this year as a group, and then it's all snatched away with that one injury. So
yeah,
it's tough because now Luke Walton has to do some of his damage control. His job is now to do the best job of damage control he can do over the course of these next 6 weeks. The questions are only going to get uglier. The mood is only going to get more and more resigned to the fact that this was not the successful season that everybody thought it could be in LA.
Well, I think the first thing you do is you hope that Brandon Ingram is healthy. Because what we've seen from him the last month of the season is exactly what the Lakers needed to see. And if you're buying stock on young players in this league, you're buying Brandon Ingram.
Yeah.
He's just now starting to grow into his body. And because he is, and he's starting to feel himself having the strength and balance he needs, he's starting to show a little swagger out there. Their first 4 possessions of the last game he played in, he just went at it. There was no hesitation in him whatsoever. He recognized in that instant he could do what he wanted to do on a basketball court. And that level of dominance in his own mind is critical. So if I'm the Lakers the rest of the way, with a healthy Brandon Ingram, I ride him and see as far as he can take you. You make him be in a situation where he's asked to carry the load. Let's see if you can win basketball games right now. Because if he can't, that's okay. But if he can and he can deliver in that circumstance, you've done 2 things. You've given yourself a much better asset for the future, but you've also maybe raised his trade value if that's what you're still trying to do.